Hello everyone, hope you're doing well and I welcome you all to the very first episode of the podcast series by the DK Talk Show. हम अपने आज के इस पॉडकास्ट में बात करने वाले हैं एक इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट और एक एजुकेटर से उनकी जर्नी के बारे में जानेंगे और उनसे जानेंगे वो कुछ ऐसे नुस्खे जो हम अपनी डे टू डे लाइफ में अडेप्ट कर सके तो हमारी लाइफस्टाइल बेटर हो सकता है। वो नुस्खे जो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट और ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट में बहुत ही विविडली और बहुत ही वाइडली इंडस्ट्री में यूज होता है। तो चलिए लेट्स स्टार्ट। We have a very special guest today with us. His name is Mr. Sudhakar. So, Mr. Sudhakar, right now he's a PhD aspirant. So, very soon we'll be calling him Dr. Sudhakar. And, wanted to give you some background about Mr. Sudhakar. So, Mr. Sudhakar has almost 7 to 8 years of experience overall. That includes, industry experience and education experience. So, Mr. Sudhakar has been my mentor and my teacher during my college days, and he's a person who is very well taught of the subjects like project management, subjects like operations management, supply chain management, and all those industry specific jargons that most of you have already heard, and some of you might not be familiar with. So Mr. Sudhakar, when he'll start talking, you'll get to understand his areas of expertise and his experiences students. Right now he's contributing to students of Odisha, wherein those students they don't have that much privileges as we guys have, the ones that are from tier 1 and tier 2 cities. So he is right now educating them and trying to make them job ready and trying to make them procure good employments and get them settled down. So he has been contributing in that area as well. So I would like to now forward this talk to Mr. Sudhakar to explain some of his journey, how he chose to move from teaching tier 1 city students to going to tier 3 areas and helping students who don't have these many privileges as we do. Over to you, Mr. Sudhakar. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Danish, first of all, and very good evening to each and everybody who are in the call. And first of all, I want to say, मैं good evening बोलता हूँ, सभी ने actually unmute करके good evening बोलना है, okay? So I want to see your energy level, okay? So guys, we're going to start. Good evening
Good
all.
evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes. So that is a good thing I want to say that. And coming to the introduction and the journey I have taken in the education sector, I want to give a very brief history of that. So I'm basically, again, I complete basically from engineering background, and in my master's, I have worked on operation management, supply chain management, and operation research areas from National Institute of Engineering, Mysore. So later, again, I got an opportunity to work for Bosch India Limited, which is a German company in Bangalore. Worked there for around 1 year. And since my childhood, whenever, again, there is a Sunday, whenever there is a summer vacations, I have a habit of teaching the kids, like telling them story, taking a free tuitions. Okay. And one more thing I have noticed in my childhood is that my father used to run a business. And whenever I used to meet with clients and all, they used to give me a feedback that you have some motivating voice. Okay, you have some influencing character. So maybe a teaching may be a good profession for you. So from there, again, they planted the seed. And after the completion of my master's, so I thought of again taking this forward. And after working for Bosch, I got an opportunity to work for Delhi, some of the universities. So I worked for around 3 years. I again worked for some more 3 years in Hyderabad for engineering colleges. In this way, again, the journey continued. And later I figured out that, again, we gained a lot of training experience and knowledge. So why not to utilize this knowledge as well as experience to uplift the underprivileged? Because the students who are staying in a tier 1 cities, they have enormous amount of opportunities and resources to learn, like YouTube, like Instagram, like Twitter, okay, like Facebook, and many other online courses are available. But when it comes to the tier 3 cities, all these things may not be available. And even though internet connectivity is again questionable thing. And I thought that I have to utilize this, whatever the knowledge and experience I gained. Okay, that's why I've taken this as a challenge. And I'm working since from last 2 years. I'm really enjoying this journey, Danish. So this is all about a brief history I have taken in the field of teaching and training.
Thank you so much, Sudhakar sir, for sharing that wonderful journey that you have had. So I would share my experience also with Sudhakar sir. So I got this opportunity to learn from him. I think he was my professor for around 6 months. For one semester, he was my professor, and I learned a lot of things from him. And the reason why I wanted him to come to this lecture is because the way that he teaches concepts, very difficult concepts to understand. He teaches in a way that it becomes very easy to understand, and those concepts I feel that you can also apply to your day to day activities as well. These concepts, if we talk about project management concepts, if we talk about supply chain management, if we talk about operations management, ये कुछ नहीं है, ये all appears to be very difficult jargons. लेकिन अगर हम बड़े ही briefly बात करें, सप्लाई चेन क्या है, अगर हम लोग आज सुबह जाके अपने घर का राशन एक दुकान से खरीद के लेके आए तो वो हमारे घर की सप्लाई चेन हो गई. अगर हम अपने घर के अंदर कोई एक्टिविटी प्लान करें, हमारी मदर कोई कुकिंग कर रही है, तो कुकिंग होने के बाद हम जब वो खा रहे हैं, वो ऑपरेशंस का पार्ट है, हमारी मील्स का ऑपरेशंस है. सो इतना छोटे से लेके और बड़े बड़े कंपनीज जिस तरीके से चल रही हैं, कॉन्सेप्ट सब जगह पे सेम है, सिर्फ वॉल्यूम और स्केल बढ़ता है. तो सुधाकर सर, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता था कि जो हम जैसे जो आम लोग हैं, वो ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट, प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट, उसके कौन कौन से ऐसे टेक्निक्स हैं जो इंडस्ट्रीज यूज करती हैं, जो हम लोग अपने लाइफ में भी अडेप्ट कर सके और हमारी लाइफ थोड़ी सॉर्टेड हो जाए या हमारा लाइफस्टाइल थोड़ा सा इंप्रूव हो जाए. इफ यू कैन शेयर सम ऑफ द लाइट ऑन दोज एरियाज.
Yeah, I see really wonderful questions, Danish. So it will definitely, these are all the concept. Okay? Operation management is a concept, okay, that you can adapt as well in your daily life also. And as Danish said, with scale and volume, people adopted in industries, especially from Western, these concepts came. Operation management is all about, again, managing each and every operations or processes which are happening in an industry. So like in an industry, many different thousands of processes which are happening on a day-to-day basis. The whole idea behind this operation management is to utilize less resources and maximize that the output. So whatever resources you have to utilize those resources very effectively. By the help of those limited resources, you have to bring more output or more result. Thereby, it is called a concept called productivity. So this is a simple concept of operation management. The whole funda behind this operation management is this much in simpler words. So coming to a day-to-day life, how a student or how an aspirant who's looking for again job in private sector as well as government sector can utilize this concept. Like if you want to achieve anything, you have to show your results. Results mean to say that if you are a student, you have to perform good in your examinations. You have to gain more knowledge, that is also a result. And you have to perform better at the interview, that is also a result. And you have to get a very good package jobs, that is also a result. Or else if you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to establish a company with a good minimum profit levels, that is also a result. These are all the results will be expected by your parents, by the society, and it is needed for you also. Now you have to achieve these results. Then what are all the resources which are available with you? So like how many teachers are there in your institute, okay, who are all good teachers, who are supportive teachers? What are all the resources are available in internet? Okay, so like this guest lectures, maybe a YouTube video, maybe any Facebook video. What are all the again good knowledgeable friends available in your classrooms so that you can go and interact with your friends? That is also a resource. So what are all the good textbooks available in your library? Okay, so you can talk to more people, you will gain more insights, you will gain more knowledge, you will gain more experience. In this way, you have whatever the resources which are available with you, try to utilize that in a very effective way so that you can achieve what you need to, again, what you're supposed to achieve. So in this way, operation management is again is everywhere. Okay. So as Danish said, even it is there in our kitchen. So in your home also, your father knows how to operate your entire family. He's already unknowingly is doing that operation management thing. How effectively he has to again earn the money, how to run the family with limited amount of money, right? So again, this is all about in a simple way how a student can utilize this concept to achieve something. So overall idea, you have to increase your productivity. So productivity is all about increase more, give more output by utilizing less input. Less input means whatever available inputs resource. Even though one more small example I want to give, you have to achieve more with less time. That is also indicates you are a better productive person. Like nowadays, it is a very competitive world. You have to, again, you have very limited time of 2 years. You have to complete your degree or any kind of courses. Within that 2 years, a limited time, with less time, you have to study more. Whatever time is fixed, 24 hours, but you have to study more. So you are giving a maximum output with limited less time. That indicates that you are more productive. That indicates that you are more competitive. You can again sustain in your own career. So in this way, you have to focus on your productivity by utilizing less available resources to maximize your output. So this is what I want to say, Danish, about operation management, day-to-day
Um,
life concept.
No, I think so wonderfully explained. I totally agree 100% with you. So at times what happens is, so if you talk about students, so what they do is they ignore whatever resources and whatever study material they already have with them, and what they do is they go for coaching centers,
Mhm.
or they go for tuitions, or they go for n number of things that are over and above the materials that they already have, and they forget studying that material, and they look for outside resources,
Mhm.
and increase the finances and decrease the productivity overall, which at the end of the day they don't get anything out of it. Okay, so for the students who are listening to this
Sure,
podcast, who's
sure.
listening to this talk, I would highly recommend to follow Sudhakar sir's suggestion, that whatever resources you have, first utilize that, and once those are completely utilized, then go for another resource, to go for any aspirations that you have. Also, very good point raised by Mr. Sudhakar, increase productivity. And this is a learning for me also today, sir, after this podcast. And I'll also introspect if I am being productive enough, if I am, my schedule is in a way that I am being the most productive. So I'll also introspect myself after this podcast today. So thank you so much. And this brings us with our next question, which is around the pandemic that has happened. See, sir, जब pandemic हुआ है, उसके बाद, first thing that we witnessed, I mean, I'll talk about India specifically. So the first worst thing that India, experienced was shortage of masks. So people were not having masks. Shortage of, this hand hand sanitizers. There was massive shortage in the
There was
very
massive
starting.
shortage
Sanitizer.
Hand sanitizers, and globally, if we talk, so once after pandemic, what happened is lockdowns occurred and everybody started working from home. Internet usage rose up to n number of times, which was never witnessed, and hence semiconductors requirement also increased globally. So and we are already witnessing how electronics are getting costlier every day, and all sorts of stuff. So what kind of measures industries, and for this matter a country, should adopt ideally, so that such kind of shortages doesn't happen, and if at all, if it is happening, then how they cope up with meeting the customer demands, and in case of India, meeting the demands of the citizens. If you can share some lights from your experience.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got your questions, Danish. It's really, again, it has a lot of meaning behind that questions. First of all, again, it's all come under a broad category of supply chain management. So whatever the goods we are what we're purchasing every day, either from Flipkart, Amazon, okay, various e-commerce websites. So in a matter of 1 or 2 days, it will reach. So in a day, it will get delivered, right? So, but before, around 5 years, 10 years back, this was not the case. So, but nowadays, again, things got improved a lot. And when it comes to India, again, we have huge populations and supply chain. Management, again, it's an evergreen demanded course because everyday population is increasing, thereby the needs also increasing. So in this way, again, supply chain, there are a lot of improvements has been happened from last couple of years. So out of that, if I want to make again the deliveries, so suppose if you can see that nowadays the products are available for a cheaper price. Even though you take an example of your t-shirts or a shirt, एक ब्रांडेड शर्ट भी आपको आराम से 500 रुपीज 600 रुपीज में मिल जाता है, राइट? सो एटलीस्ट इवन इफ इट इज नॉट ब्रांडेड, इट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वालिटी फैब्रिक वाला मटेरियल तो मिल ही जाएगा, राइट? सो इट मीन्स आपको बहुत सस्ते में अगेन यू कैन पॉसिबल टू गेट दैट शर्ट और टी शर्ट और ट्राउजर. एंड वन थिंग अगेन, कॉस्ट कम हो रहा है, and second most thing is that within less time you are able to get that delivery. So these two things are very, very important for effective supply chain management. Cost को minimize रखना है and delivery it has to reach the customer as early as possible. And this has been possible with some of the scenarios like all these things cannot be done all alone by human beings. To improve this, the rate of delivery and the cost and all, the industry is adopting some of the technologies also. They're taking the help of technology. So we should not think that technologies take over in the human beings. They're taking the help of technology to go from completely manual to again semi-automation kind of thing. So where a part of the work is being done by technology and part of the work is being done by human beings. So like part of the work is being done by technology means some of the technologies, emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, the big data analytics, and the machine learning. These are all some of the technologies which are helping to semi-automate this entire supply chain. So thereby, all alone with this much of again huge populations, so may not be again able to deliver the product in one day. Amazon will able to do that within one day. Again, in a same day delivery is possible nowadays. So that's why some of the technologies help is also needed. At the same time, there is again emerging, what you can say, emerging need of human beings also. That doesn't mean that some of the students may have a fear. सर अभी टेक्नोलॉजी तो बढ़ रहा है, हमारा जॉब तो चले जाएगा. So no need to think like that. So even though again technology is being made by man, it's not came all alone. Technology एक अपने आप से एक इंसान तो नहीं है, इंसान ने बनाया है, right? So again human beings are needed. So especially if you have a knowledge, if you have a skill sets, so definitely you are always in demand in the industry. So whether it's an operation management or a supply chain management. So as Danny said, post-pandemic also again things may turn better. We have to wait. So, but when it comes to sanitizer, the mask, the face mask supply, and again the demand is huge. So again, many companies started manufacturing these things, and hence what I can say, supply chain there are already a lot of changes has been taken place. So hence no need to worry about that. Things may turn to a again better scenario in later days. We will hope for the best. And the last thing is that again there is always there is a demand for human beings. No need to worry about that thing. So this is what I want to say, Danish.
So very well explained, sir. And for the ones who are watching this podcast and who will be watching this podcast once I take it online, I also want to share my experience, my industry experience, and whatever I have learned till now, in line with what Sudhakar sir just explained. So I'm into industry. I'm into IT industry right now, and many people these days they are trying to enter into that industry because they feel that their industry is getting exhausted. Specifically, mechanical engineers, if I talk about, so people are nowadays reluctant to go for mechanical engineering because they feel that they might not get appropriate jobs going forward. But the point that Sudhakar sir raised, see, we are already growing population. All we need is to automate things for us, because human beings cannot first of all they feel lazy to do repetitive tasks. Second of all, there is no need to do those repetitive tasks because IT has already there are IT equipments, there are automated robots that are already there who perform that manual work better than human beings. So why human beings should spend that time there? So the listeners, I mean the school students particularly, I will tell this to you, that right now focus on increasing your intellect and don't go for understanding manual tasks, because they are already getting taken care of. You need to develop that intuitive mind. You need to develop that creative mindset, and whenever whichever career you get on, you will never fall short of career opportunities. And the ones that are already there, in some of the careers that they are, I would highly recommend to upskill themselves. So if they stop learning at any point, I would say their career gets over at that particular point itself, because someone would come and replace them. So if you're upskilling yourself at every moment, your industry will always welcome you, and there will be no need to change your industry. And an awesome answer given by Sudhakar sir, that even the e-commerce websites, they are what they are also automating their services so as to reach the customer quickly. So lot of scope there. IT, there's enormous scope. Again, mechanical engineer, electronics engineering also, there is lot of scope, because they only need to create the hardware for that IT part to come in. Just wanted to share that insight for you guys, because I belong to IT
Yeah,
industry.
yeah, it's very, very well said then.
Yeah. um, so, sir, I think my last question had was, I plan to ask was, what students these days should do over and above their studies. I think some part we have already covered by telling them, use resources wisely, develop an intuitive mind, develop a creative mind. What else do they need apart from their regular studies, from your point of view, sir?
Yeah, so when it comes to, again, suppose if you have joined any kind of course, again, you are going to get your certain set of skill sets, certain sets of knowledge and experience and practice. That is one thing. So along with that, some of the things which is very, very needed, I want to highlight is that make sure that you have some flexible mindset. Okay, so don't have some rigid mindset, like fixed mindset. Okay, I want to do this one only, so I don't want to upskill myself. I don't want to again learn this thing. This is not a part of my degree. Okay, so don't again put a boundary around yourself. So be flexible. Okay, so be adaptable. These are all some of the things. It look like very simple, but when it comes to again job market and all, many students and many of the employees know, because of lack of these skills, again they are leaving the job. So adaptability is very, very needed, and what I can say, growth mindset is needed. And one more concept we used to call it as, again, a passion. You need to be passionate about what you're supposed to do or what you are doing. Okay, and the last one thing I want to highlight is that the grit. It's called a grit. And so recently we talked about that last week. The grit is all about you have to make sure that you won't accept, you won't quit. So before achieving that, it is something like a consistent effort. So till you're going to achieve that result. So this is what a grit mindset is required, and flexible mindset is required, adaptable mindset is required. You have many courses are available, okay, many tuition classes, many colleges are available, but if you don't have this mindset, then those courses and certificates may not be helpful. So these are all some of what the inner traits which are really helpful to get a job. So getting a job may be easy, but sustaining a job, okay, and that is very, very difficult. So if you have these inner qualities, you will succeed, whether you are doing a business or whether you are working for any MNC company or whether you're working for any government organizations. So these things are needed. And one more last thing I want to say is that for youths, okay, you need to focus on career. Okay, so try to develop this one more quality called the empathy and compassion. So these are very, very important, because at one point of time, you may also get some jobs, you may also earn some money. So you should try to look around yourself. Okay, so what are all the challenges faced by the people? Okay, so try to help whatever it is possible from your end. Try to understand their situations. Then you will get a different sense of happiness. If you understand somebody's problem, if you try to help them, okay, Try to understand the people. That is very good thing. It's called empathy. So what exactly they're thinking, what exactly their need. Okay. So this empathy may be useful in your company also. What exactly my company wants from me. Okay. What I supposed to do. Okay. Why they are hiring me. Okay. So why they giving this much of again salary package to me. Okay. If you're able to emphasize that, then you will be able to do your 100%. If you think that just it's my job, then it may not be. If you don't have passion, then you will just go at 10 o'clock and you will come back at 5 o'clock. If you have passion, so you may go at 8 o'clock, you may come back at evening 8 o'clock. Okay. So that is what the differences these qualities will make. The passion, the grit, okay, and the flexibility, the growth mindset. These are all very, very essentials, look like very simple, but it makes a lot of differences in your life. Danish, over to you.
Sir, I think wise words coming from all the experience that you have inculcated, teaching students, getting industry experience, and all the education that you have. I think whatever you told just now are some of the wise words for me as well. I also learned a lot from this session. So thank you so much for bringing those value points. I think in this limited amount of time you've given, a knowledge and a learning for each one of us, in a very precise manner for us to kind of inculcate that in our journey.
Again, many of these things I have learned again during my entire career, and I want to give credits to again. Right now, I'm working for Tata groups of companies. Okay? So again, they have trained me, and all these qualities I have acquired while I was working for Tata Group.
Yes.
Just I want to say thanks to the senior management. Yeah,
no, sir, Tata Group has always been, an amazing, company, and have been helping, a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So, in fact, I also, thank as a citizen of India to Tata Group for whatever good things that they have been doing, and marvelous job that they are putting forward. Once again, thank you so much for taking out, sir, time from your busy schedule to make out this call. And I think this has been an amazing podcast, and I learned a lot, and I'm sure that the attendees also would have learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danish, first of all, again, for inviting me to this podcast. Through this, again, so I do want, again, all the youths who are able to get this message, try to, again, implement this thing. So don't only listen to this knowledge. So try to adopt this in your life. Then only you can possibly bring some changes. So listening means you will forget it. So if you just do it, if you started implementing it, then things may started changing in your life. So once again, thank you all. And if you have any questions, feel free to again send your questions to Danish or else in your YouTube comments and all. Okay, so I'm happy to answer all of your queries. So thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.